I'm Jasmine Anderson. We're live on Newsday TV. Today, we continue Newsday's year-long investigative series focusing on Long Island's dangerous roads. We bring our attention to one of the deadliest months, August of 2023. And joining me to talk about it, Newsday investigative reporter Jim Baumbach. Thank you so much for coming in and joining us now. Let's talk about the numbers. Where do we stand here?
Yeah, so 32 people died in August 2023 in 26 crashes. And one thing that struck me is that it wasn't just 32 people in 26 crashes. It was 32 people who were riding bikes, who were on tricycles, joggers, walkers. You know, it's everything. Motorcycles. You know, there's cars, but the crashes touch everything.
And why? What are officials saying? Why is this happening? Why does this keep happening?
Yeah, the officials. Yeah, that's a question that really struck me early on. Was why was August 2023 so bad? And when I brought it to officials like prosecutors and first responders and police early on, they were almost like surprised, like, oh, August 23 was that bad? And then they went back and looked, and they said, oh yeah, it was that bad. But in their minds, they deal with this all the time, that what stuck out to them was not so much the month. They remember 11 people dying in a 58-hour stretch, or 7 people dying in a 20-hour stretch. In terms of answers, you know, they just had guesses. Their guesses were that, you know, summer months tend to be a little more deadly on the roads. It's lighter out, it's later. Driving patterns are perhaps different because of vacations. You know, schools are not in session. But really, August 23 was kind of encapsulates the issue, but it's not so much it was an outlier.
And regardless of what the situation was, it impacted someone's family member. Someone didn't come home that night. Now let's take a look at the impact this issue is having on Long Island families.
It feels like 2 people were just erased out of this planet.
Dozens of Long Island families devastated by deadly crashes.
Somebody left somebody in the road like garbage, come on.
In one of the deadliest months on Long Island roads.
I was this close to dying. There's no other way to say it.
Ismenia and Odalis Urania were killed by a drunk driver on their way home from a date night dinner. Their daughters, ages 14 and 8, were home sleeping.
Instead of their parents coming home, a police officer comes to the door.
Chris Marie Rodriguez has been caring for her sister Ismenia's children since the crash.
Mom and Dad, gone. One day they were here, the next day they're gone.
2 years later, the family they left behind is still trying to adjust.
Are we in survival mode? Absolutely, still. Nobody knows the aftermath. There's like 7 steps of grief. Where I'm at today, survival. I'm just trying to survive.
The crash that killed the Uranias happened here on this Laurel Hollow Road in August 2023. That month, 32 people lost their lives on Long Island roads, among the most of any month in the past decade.
It's heartbreaking to hear statistics like that because so many of these accidents are preventable.
And the people that are impacted by it, it's just random.
State records obtained by Newsday show victims ranged in age from 6 to 90. They died in cars, on motorcycles, riding on an electric scooter, and on a tricycle. Others were jogging and walking. 72-year-old Lydia Simonelli was one of them. She was run down by a hit-and-run driver walking from a bus stop to an exercise class in Lake Ronkonkoma.
That day still gets me aggravated because I told her to take my car the night before and she took the bus. Every morning I come out, I see my sister out there.
Also that month, a driver high on drugs, speeding over 100 miles per hour, rammed a car stopped at a red light in East Massapequa. The crash killed 4 people. 3 of them, children. Michael McManus was in this car when the crash happened right next to him. We showed him the video for the first time.
Wow. Okay. Wow. All right. So I'm actually
Escaping death by a few feet has had a lasting effect on Michael.
All of a sudden, it felt like a bomb went off, and windows shattered, glass was everywhere, and there was just a giant explosion. To this day, I'm sitting at an intersection, and I do have I almost like can close my eyes and feel like an impending impact, or like just an explosion, or like I'm anticipating a bomb going off.
Prosecutors say it's not the roads that are dangerous, it's the people.
You could create the perfect road, but until we, as humans, adjust our behavior, we're not going to eliminate these horrific fatal crashes. Every time I get into a car, anytime a member of my family is getting into a car, I'm worried, because not knowing who's on the road with them, and knowing from my own experience that there are drunk and drugged and reckless drivers at all hours of the day on every roadway.
Nothing's going to bring these children back or these parents back.
I need people to understand and the world to understand that your actions could destroy somebody's life for generations.
So Jim, where does August 2023 rank on the list of deadliest months in the past decade?
Yeah, it's not the worst. It's among the worst. Early on, when I got these numbers from the State Department of Transportation, I got every month from the last decade, and my initial thought was that this was kind of a story about numbers. Where does it rank? And then you looked at this month, and you realized that this just impacted so many people that it's obviously there's 32 victims, 32 people who died, but then there's their family members, there's the loved ones who are impacted from there, and then there's the people who witnessed it, the people who responded to it. So my vision of this kind of shifted, where I said, you know what, this is not so much about why is this month going to be the worst, or where does it rank. It was more of like, let's tell the story of the people impacted by it, because their lives changed in an instant, whether or not they were in the car, or they were next to the car, or their family members in the car.
Yeah, because they're not just a number. So, I mean, you've been working on this story for a long time. What was the biggest takeaway from your reporting?
Yeah, the first conversation I had, one of the first interviews I did, was with the NASA prosecutor, Katie Zizza, who we saw in that package there. And she said she's been doing this 15 years, and she said that you would think that after doing this for 15 years, you would be hardened by it, that it would perhaps become less emotional. And she said it's actually become harder, to deal with the people impacted by it. I think that really struck me, because she said it's not so much, it's just random. She said it's just so much, obviously there's reckless decisions that we can all agree, the drunk driving, the hit and run, but the people impacted by it, by and large, it's just random. And then you see the people impacted by that randomness. When I went, and I had that in my mind when I met with these people, the family members, and it was just so hard to comprehend that their lives shifted in an instant because of the randomness of their family members being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And look, we're all drivers, we're all on Long Island roads, we have been in close calls, and then you put yourself in their shoes and saying, that could have been you, that could have been me, and it's just hard. One thing Katie said was she finds it hard not to think about these people that she's met all the time. And then I would say, after dealing with these people and meeting them and seeing what they're dealing with every day, it's hard not to think about them all the time.
Yeah, that's somebody's mother, father, child, the list goes on. Well, Jim, thank you. Our team of researchers, they created an interactive map showing crash locations across the island. Get a look at it here. This is from 2022 to 2024. And of course, you can see it and read more of our Dangerous Roads investigation on newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Thank you so much for watching.